stay in your lane. Yeah, we get a little homie, you been getting some brain. Rapping about how you smoking weed like a chain, but I gotta be the one to throw the industry shade. Told you I've been fed up, get your bread up, you don't drop shit. Dropping so much fire, 2018, it's obnoxious. Put me on a 16, watch the numbers rise. Just went from the bubble to the top.
You are now tuned into the Dad2lift podcast. You have your host, Tyler Gaeta.
Co-host, Jonathan Baumgartner.
So, thanks for tuning in, guys. Got another episode for you, another great episode for you. We do this shit for free, guys. Please give us a like, share, 5-star review. We don't want to run a bunch of ads. We don't want to bombard you with a bunch of bullshit. So you tell a friend, they tell a friend. That's how this thing moves on. That's all we want to do is add value. So if we added value to you in any way, tell a friend, they tell a friend. We really appreciate your support. We are on IG, so we have a bunch of fucking apparel. I usually do this shit at the end, but I want to start doing it in the beginning because nobody ever listens to the end. But we have a bunch of badass apparel on www.dad2liftofficial.com. We have hats, shirts, hoodies, tanks, all kinds of shit. You guys can grab all that on Dad2liftofficial.com. We're actually in the process of revamping our whole apparel line. So we're going to be running a sale. Hopefully by the time this drops, the sale will be going. We're going to be running a sale, blowing out old inventory. It's a great opportunity to get some cheap stuff, great products at really cheap prices. It's actually, you're going to be getting it pretty much at cost because we have this new line rolling out. So we just want to blow our old inventory out so we have room for new inventory. But that's something to be looking forward to. We're on IG as Dad2lift Official. Actually, did we change that, right? Dad2lift Apparel now? On Facebook too, or just IG? Just IG. So IG is Dad2lift Apparel now. Facebook is Dad2lift Podcast. And then we have a Facebook group that's a group of like 53,000 like-minded dads trying to be the best selves and fit at the same time. That's called Dad2lift Official. Again, that's a group. So if you're a dad, check that group out. So to start this podcast, I went in on my IG story last night and did a little story about this, but I can only talk so much on IG, and it cuts you off, and right. They have really small clips. So I thought this would be a good topic to go in on a podcast about and give some motivation to people and some perspective. So when I sold my house that I was in before the house I'm in right now, that we're shooting in right now, that was about 5 years ago. And I was in this place where I thought that I had to sell my old house to be able to come up with the money for the down payment on this new house, which this new house is obviously a lot bigger, a lot better. I've got like 25 acres. It was my dream to have an acreage. And so I thought, shit, I've got to sell my old house, which would have made a great fucking rental house. It was a 5-bedroom, God, what was that fucker? 5-bedroom, 4-bath house with a badass patio in the backyard, all fenced in. I mean, it would have brought in buku bucks renting it. It would have paid for itself renting itself. And my dream of mine was to always get into rentals and Airbnbs. But in my mind and my time frame, again, this was like 5 years ago, but for my mindset in that time frame was very limited. And I thought, man, I just don't have it. I have to sell this house to be able to come up with the down payment on the new house. And that just isn't true. I could have came up with the means to be able to keep both houses. And it's funny because I actually had the loan on this new house before I sold my old house approved. And I thought to myself, like, damn, that's crazy. They're going to give me a loan for both houses? They're nuts. I can't afford both houses, you know? But I had both loans already approved. But it was my scarcity mindset and me wanting to be comfortable that made me sell my old house. And the fact of the matter is I could have made it work. I could have figured out a way. I could have sold some things. I could have sold some toys. I could have done some things to make that work and keep both houses. Now, would I have been spread thinner? Yes. Would I have been less comfortable? Yes. But what I've realized as I've got older in those 5-year time frame from then to now is that when I'm spread thin is when I grow. When I take chances and when I take risks is when I grow. When I'm comfortable, I am not growing. When I'm comfortable, I'm not really moving forward. I'm just comfortable. I'm kind of complacent. And now I was moving into a nicer, bigger house that's, has gained equity as well since I bought it. So was it still a good move moving forward? Yes, it was. But could I have made a double play or a better play and been uncomfortable for a few years and made it work out? Yes, I could have. And when I look back at myself, every single time I've taken risk or I've taken chance, I've always come out on top. Nothing's taken me down yet. I'm still here. I'm still moving forward. I'm still alive. I once bought a nursery that I thought was going to be a great investment opportunity, and it wasn't. And I ended up losing $400,000 cash, like no loans. This is just cash, solid cash money, $400,000 in 2 years. It might have even been more. It was close to that though. And that didn't even take me out. That was a very uncomfortable point in my life. Don't get me wrong. But I learned a lot from that, and I moved forward, and I became a better businessman and a better man in general from that. So I don't even chalk that up as a loss, because I gained so much knowledge from that, and it didn't take me out. I didn't claim bankruptcy. I might have been late on a couple payments here and there, and yeah, like things were uncomfortable. I was spread thin, but I made it through it, and I grew. And in that time frame, I grew more than when I'm comfortable. I turned into a better person, a better businessman, just an all around, more well-rounded man in that time period. And so that house that I sold 5 years ago to which I thought I had to do to buy this house I'm in now, I sold for $270,000, and that house now today is worth at least $430,000, probably $450,000. Like, it was a super nice house. I did everything to the nines, redid everything. Like, I always go over the top. Anyways, I could have came close to doubling my money in the last 5 years, plus paid for. I had the house almost paid off, so I could have basically paid the rest of the way, had it paid off by now just from rental income. So I could have had a $450,000 house paid for right now.
So you said,
and so hang on though, I want to go into one more thing. Keep your notes. But what I've learned from that, so now fast forward 5 years, right? And I'm in this place now where if you follow me, you know that I just bought my first Airbnb a few months back. I don't know, maybe it's been 5 or 6 months ago now, something like that. But I bought a really nice Airbnb out in South Dakota. We love it. It's paying for itself. It's actually cash flowing a little bit. It was a great investment, a great opportunity. And so I went to check out, this is just like, maybe a month ago, I went to another area close to me to check out some Airbnbs with a buddy of mine. And I actually wasn't looking to buy. I just went to go with him, but I like to stay on top of things. I like to see the market. I like to see opportunities and see where things are. And while I was out there looking at this Airbnb for him to buy, I found one that I wanted to buy.
Nice.
And it just kind of fell in my lap, right? And those are usually the best times when those opportunities just fall in your lap. Those are the ones that are meant to be. So it just kind of fell in my lap. And so I didn't think that I would be able to get a loan for this other Airbnb, because I just bought this other Airbnb, 5 or 6 months ago. And so just for shits and giggles, I called my banker and I said, hey, this is what I'm looking at. This is what I want to do. This is the property. Could I get the loan for it? And he was like, yeah, no problem. I was like, holy fucking shit. Okay, so I can get the loan. So now it comes back to, it's not as easy as just getting the loan. You still got to come up with 20%, right? So you got to come up with this money. And this unit that I'm buying happens to be a brand new condo, right? And so just to lock in this condo before you even close, you have to put down a $30,000 deposit. And so I'm sitting there looking at myself and looking at my finances, coming up with this 20%, which is over $100,000 cash. I'm not going to say exactly how much it is, but just say over $100,000 cash, plus the $30,000 that I got to put down just to lock it in. I'm sitting there going, fuck, that's going to be a little tight, And so I actually drug it out and debated on it for about 2 weeks, and I drug out, buying this new property. I told him I was going to buy it, and then I kind of like him-hawed around. And I almost pulled out. I'm not going to lie to you, because it was that same scarcity mindset. And it was that same scarcity mindset of, so the scary part is if I put down this $30,000 to lock it in, if something happens with my loan before it closes, or something happens with, me not having enough money to put down for the 20%, I lose that 30 grand.
Yep, you're out.
I lose that $30,000 deposit. So I just lost 30 G's. And that's what really scares me on it. So I went back to that scarcity mindset of like, fuck, do I really need it? Can I really make it happen? Am I going to be uncomfortable? Am I going to be spread thin? Man, I really feel comfortable right now. I really like to feel comfortable. And I almost backed out. And they called me on my bullshit and was like, hey, I got other people interested. So either you sign today and send this contract and that 30 G's, or you're out, And so I thought about it, man, and I nutted up and I sent the check. So I sent a check this week for $30,000 deposit on this new Airbnb. And I signed the contract, and now I got 2 months to come up with the rest of the money for this down payment. And I'm going to make it happen. Am I going to be more uncomfortable than I am right now? Yes. but I'm going to make it happen. And these are the things that you look back on down the road, and these are the things that make people who they are, make success, make millionaires. You know, I knew when I was thinking about this and was thinking about pulling out, I knew that every time I've put myself up, I've never failed yet. You know, even when I lost that money in the nursery, didn't work out. I still didn't claim bankruptcy. I still didn't lose anything. I didn't have to sell anything. I didn't lose my house. I've never been put under yet. I've never failed yet. And I knew that if I did not take this opportunity and at least try it, when I look back 5 years from now, I was going to regret it. Just like selling the house. I look back at the house right now, and I'm like, fuck, man, that would have made a fucking amazing rental house. I wish I had that fucking rental house right now. It was a beautiful house. I put so much time and money into that thing. I'm pissed I sold it. I didn't want to look back at this opportunity and say, damn, I could have had that fucking condo on the lake that was, you know, has gained $400,000 or $500,000 in equity, which is what I think this condo is going to do once I close on it, because there's no more condos that they're building on this lake. It's done after that. So it's an equity play too. But I don't want to look back and have regret. I'd rather look back and have regret and failed than look back and say, man, what if I could have done that?
Right.
You know, what if I could have made that happen? And so in this time with me doing this and sending this $30,000 check, now again, I'm out of my comfortable space, right? So now I'm uncomfortable again. But here's the beauty in that. Now I'm fucking rolling. Now I'm grinding. Now I'm like, all right, I got 30 G's on the line. If I don't make this happen, I'm losing that. So what do I got to do to make this happen?
Right.
So now what happens is all this shit that I've been kind of like him-hawing around or resting on, or, you know, not really pushing as hard as I could on. Now I'm like, all right, motherfucker, it's go time. Push. Whatever we can do, whatever we have to do to make this happen.
Right.
And so last thing I want to say, I do a lot of personal growth. And I invest in myself, and I've probably spent close to $100,000 in 2020 just on coaches, like personal development coaches. And I've had multiple coaches all through 2020. And I currently have coaches, Brian Nabavi, Andy Versella, Ed Milet. These are some of my coaches that I have right now. And every single one of these big guys, Andy Versella, Ed Milet, they're all saying right now in this economy and this uncertainty, this is the time to go. This is the time to push. This is the time to put your fucking pedal to the floor if you're able to, and this is the time to make shit happen. This is not the time to let off the pedal and hit the gas or coast. This is the time to push, because right now, everybody else is fucking weak. Everybody else is soft. Everybody else is taking their foot off the pedal and coasting or hitting the brakes because they're scared. They're scared of uncertainty. They're scared of the economy. They're scared of coronavirus. They're scared of fucking war. They're scared of supply chains. They're scared of, you know, everything. Right now, there's so much uncertainty in the world. People use that fucking uncertainty to rest on their laurels. People use that uncertainty to fall back and lose their drive to not be everything that they should be and everything that they can be. And it's easy to use that as an excuse, right? It's easy to say, well, right now it's coronavirus, so that's why I'm not going to the gym as much. Or right now it's, you know, work's kind of questionable, so that's why I'm not spending money on. That's why I'm not starting my own company, because I'm not sure if I'm going to have a job in 6 months, or I'm not sure if I'm going to have all these accounts in 6 months, or I'm not sure if my business is going to continue to excel. So I better not go in on that investment. I better not go in on buying that extra inventory. I better not go in on this, that, or the other, right? And the fact of the matter is the guys that have the balls to do that shit and put the pedal to the fucking floor and go in on everything right now when everybody else is resting on their fucking laurels are the guys that are going to win. Those are the guys that are going to blow past everybody times 10, right? And Ed Milet, Andy Versella, they both say, this is where millionaires are made. Times like this, economies like this is where millionaires are made, right? So I get it. Everybody's scared. You know, there's a lot of uncertainty. The economy's uncertain. Coronavirus, like I said, supply chain shit. They're talking about not even being able to have groceries this winter. You know, who knows what's going to happen. But we're never going to know what's going to happen, right? And you're never going to know what's coming or what's going. So all you can control, this kind of goes into our last podcast, is all that you have is what you can control. And what you can control that's in your grasp is what you can go all in on. And if you go all in on that shit, you're going to blow past everybody else.
I'm excited about everything you just talked about because I'm in a growing period, I feel like, especially with when you're talking about real estate and stuff. So I've got a house. very similar to
yes, John did what I didn't do.
What you have
great.
going, and I wanted to sell it because there was a cash prize, equity blew up, and see $100K to show up in your bank, definitely make anyone think about it. So, I started hitting everybody up. Let's get this thing on the market, get it ready. But then I kind of started pumping my brakes. I didn't want just a quick buck. I'm trying to think 10, 15, 20 years down the road. I'm still young enough. How do I leverage whatever I have now to really 10 times my life 10 years down the road? So I didn't sell the house. Scary as shit. Never had renters in there. Now I moved in with my girlfriend. So now I have another rent because I'm contributing there, and I have my mortgage to cover. So it's scary as shit because if they don't pay me, I'm like, all right, y'all, I'm checking.
Or if they trash your house. Or
yeah,
whatever.
equity, depreciation, all of it. It's a huge risk, and it's scary as shit. How do you? So my question is, and you made.
But hang on, it's scary as shit. But with everything that you're doing, when it works out, in 15 years from now, your house will be paid for by itself, and not even in 15 years.
7 years is my goal.
Yeah, but either way, you're going to buy another house too.
Yep.
So you still have the means. Your house is getting paid for. You still have the means to go in with your girlfriend, down the road, buy another house.
Right.
So then you'll have two houses and one that's paying for itself.
Right. So,
which is how you get ahead in life. That's how you gain.
How do you? And you touched on a couple points.
Net worth.
How do you get out of your limited scarcity mindset? Because there's been periods of times, even in the last 6 to 8 months, where I've been in a funk for a month and I'm scared. And I'm not the man that I should be every single day, like power, like hell yeah, I got this. Like I'm over here, like fuck, I gotta come up with an extra if they don't pay, or just you got a lot that comes at you when you're making these moves. And I definitely agree 100%. You said something along the lines of, but what if the positive came? It's way better than the negative. The negative is, I don't gain anything. You don't ever gain anything. You already know that's coming to you. So if you put yourself out there and you take that leap of faith and just dive into the fear, the what if this is successful? What if I make this work? I'm going to own my first rental property, have it paid off in 7 years, have almost $400K equity, and now be able to pay off another house. And so in my scarcity mindset,
probably $500K.
I don't have the means right now, or the equity built up, but when I think of it down the road, it excites me way more than it scares me. I'm more scared of my current position to stay here than I am, and I'm more excited about my future position if I make the move and jump into fear. So how do you talk yourself through, because I think we have conversations, right? You feel yourself, why am I having this scarcity mindset? Kind of like you said. So how do you talk yourself through being afraid to let's fucking get it?
So first and foremost, the only person that ever holds you back is yourself.
100%.
That's it.
100%.
And so no one else can ever hold you back. Your thoughts, your feelings about yourself, your confidence, your capability, that's what holds you back, and that's it. So really what it comes down to is just believing in yourself. And I developed through years of just being an entrepreneur and owning my own business this mentality where I know and feel that no matter what, I'm always going to be able to make money. I know that right now, even if I fucked up, something happened, I lost everything, I had to claim bankruptcy, whatever, I would be able to start over and still make more money.
Right.
Might not be in the same companies, might be different companies, but whatever. I know that I make shit happen, that I can make shit happen, and I'm going to do shit, and that's just who I am, and I'll always be able to make money no matter what, unless I fucking die. But it wasn't always like that. And so, fuck, man, when I've been in business now with my main company 11 or 12 years, something like that. And when I first started my company, man, I used to fucking worry so much about money, about accounts, because in my industry, we own a lawn stone landscape company, and we've advanced into pools and other things that we're doing now too. But when it started, it was just a lawn stone landscape company, just out of my fucking garage, and that's how I started it. And in our industry, and we do a lot of commercial work, actually even residential, really, everything's bid every year. So your lawn care, your maintenance, your snow removal, it's rebid every single year. So you only have a contract for a period of 8 months at a time, and then it rebids. And you can lose that fucker just as easy as you got it, And so I used to worry every single year, I worry about my pricing. Am I cheap enough? Can I undercut these guys? What about the, blah, blah, blah. And, just not having these accounts. What if I lose it? If I lose that account, I'm fucked. If I lose that account, I'm fucked. I'm not going to have a business. I'm not going to be able to pay my bills. I'm not going to be able to this, that, and the other. And what I've realized throughout 12 years or 11 to 12 years of business is, as that's true, I've lost accounts. Every time I've lost an account, I've gained an account. I've never, or I've gained more. I've never gone out of business. I've never lost all my accounts. Even when I've lost a big ass account that I've had, I've still gained a bunch of other ones to make up for it. So it's really weird how it works out, man. I don't know. I kind of feel like it's that whole deal of like, if you build it, it'll come.
Right.
And so if we're here and we have this capacity to do this and this is what we do, I feel like it's really been either even kiltered or growth. I mean, we've still grown every single year. But I've never lost enough to where like I've obviously gone out of business or not had enough work or whatever. All my shit's always been, if I'm talking snow removal and I have, 50 plow trucks and 50 skid loaders and 10 rubber tire loaders, even if I've lost accounts and gained accounts, all that equipment's always still been working every single year.
Right.
And so through that, I just kind of gained this confidence to where I realized and not even really, I guess it is confidence, but also like just kind of understanding of how the world works or how I work or how life is. And I've just come to this realization that no matter what, I'm going to be okay. Like no matter what, I'm going to be able to bring in work. I'm going to be able to bring in money.
I've had that realization similar to
I kind of just lost the fear in that. And so I still have that fear. I'm not that confident in every aspect of my life. I think this is important to point out because there's different aspects of everybody's life. So there's definitely certain aspects of my life that I still have more of a limited or limiting mindset that I would like, but I'm working on those things. But money is not one of them, man. Money, I don't fear losing money or not having money. Money comes to me. Money will always come to me. I will always be able to make money. And I think a big part of this, honestly, is manifestation work. And when you manifest, so I've been doing this manifest book, like workbook that's really helped me out called the 369 Project. If you're new to manifesting, grab that book, the 369 Project, and check it out because it actually goes through like tutorials on how to manifest when it starts off, right? And then you actually do it in this workbook the whole time as well. Nice. And you manifest 3 times a day. And it works out really well for me. I've been doing it. I've been trying to do it every day. I've been more consistent lately, so it's good. But when you manifest, you have to see what you want as if you already have it before you get it. So if I'm manifesting that I want to be a millionaire, or say I'm manifesting that I want to drive a Lamborghini, right? When I manifest that shit, I picture myself in my Lamborghini before I actually have it. So I picture myself sitting in my Lamborghini, driving my Lamborghini, pushing the gas, pushing the brakes, feeling the leather steering column, smelling the smell of the fuel, hearing the sounds of the car, driving it. I picture everything as if I already have it. And when I manifest those things, subconsciously it wires my brain to know that it's really hard to explain. Subconsciously it rewires my brain to know that shit's coming regardless, even if I don't have it right now. No matter what, it's meant for me. And so then there comes this feeling of ownership that you're going to have these things no matter what. And it's I think one of the biggest parts of it is just that it allows yourself to feel like you're good enough to have those things, right? And that you can have those things. And so if I sit here and think that I'm not good enough for something, or that I'm never going to have something, or that something's just never going to come to me, like that's for those people over there, but it's not for me. My family's not millionaires. My family's not billionaires. My family doesn't fly private jets. We work middle class. We're low end of the totem pole. That's just not in my life. Then I'm never going to have that shit. But if I see myself for who I want to be and who I'm going to be, even if I'm not that person yet, and say, no, I am a fucking billionaire. I will drive, Lamborghinis. I will fly private jets. I will help people. I am a coach. I will change people's lives. And when you believe that and you can feel that as if it's your own before you actually have it, that's when it comes. And that's the confidence and the part of knowing that I know helps me give me the confidence and the drive to be able to go after and get these things and not stop until I have them. Like stopping, no compromise, dude.
Right.
That's one of the new shirts that we're having come out on this new Dad2lift Apparel line when it rolls out. No compromise. There's zero compromise between me and my goals. None. I don't care if I have a setback. I don't give a fuck if it takes longer than it was supposed to. I'm not fucking compromising. Now, there might be like, I wanted this, but it ends up being this. But the end result of what I see in my life and what I want in my life, I will not compromise, I will not settle, and I will not stop until I get it. And that's a big part of this whole thing, right? And so when you can feel that something's meant for you before you have it, that's when it comes. And I do believe that there's also something to do with the universe that I don't fucking understand. With God, the universe, I believe in God. I see him as the same. I think God is the universe for me. And I believe that God wants us to be happy and God wants us to have the things that we want. And when we manifest and put it out that, hey, this is what I want and I'm capable of this and I'm good enough for this and I can have this, I can handle this, this is meant for me, then God and the universe aligns and brings opportunities in my way. And like I said, I don't write the fucking rules. I don't know how this shit works, but I know that it works. I know that when I stay manifesting and I stay working towards my goals and I believe that I can have these things and I have a no compromise mindset, opportunities come my way, just like this fucking Airbnb that fell in my lap. Oh yeah, I'm just going to go look for my buddy just to stay on top of things. And, I just like to see real estate. So I'm going to go look for my buddy and kind of be support for him. And then what do you know? Something falls on my lap. He didn't even end up buying anything and I did. That's an opportunity. A door opened and it fell in my lap. And then it's my choice to decide if I'm going to take that opportunity or I'm not. And I had two options. I could either be scarcity mindset, stay comfortable and not take the opportunity, not grow, or I could be uncomfortable and take the opportunity and grow. And maybe I just lost $30,000. Maybe I did, but maybe I didn't. Maybe it works out, and maybe in a year from now, I just added $1 million of fucking net worth to my portfolio, which is what I think is going to happen.
Right. You said something about manifesting, and I had a note from just the other day of thoughts from journaling. Most people start by working on the outside of their, they want to fit into what society thinks. We all want to have the flashy, the toys and all that stuff. So we always put on this show to try and fit into that image that society deems fit for us. But when you do that, you're living a lie. Your entire life is a lie because you're not living your truth about who you are. And once you realize, and I realize this about myself, and how I can explain manifestation to someone who really doesn't understand it. When you work on your inside and you get personal with yourself, you find out what's true about you. Like most people, when they meet someone, oh, he's an asshole. Well, he's not an asshole. He has boundaries. He knows himself so well that you can define his character by meeting him. I like people like that. There's no gray area. You know who you are, you know what you're about, and you stand for it, and you don't stand for anything that's not that. I think when you get to that point where you've worked on the inside so much that you believe it, and then what you say and what you do actually creates the world around you, and then society will embrace your truth. So if you go around, I'm a boss, I'm a leader, I'm a creator, you believe it, you truly believe it in your mind, and you've worked on the inside, and you're working it every single day, what you put out, the society around you is now going to accept your truth. You're not conforming to what they want 100%. You to. You are, and this is for me, a lot of people have called me an asshole over the years, or, oh, you're heartless, or blah, blah, blah. And you're going to hear all that. Don't kid yourself. People are going to say you're a piece of shit, you don't care about people. It's because they haven't decided or learned how to take care of themselves first and foremost. And I believe 100% your responsibility is to take care of you before anybody else. That way you're equipped to actually go out in the world and give. So for me, manifestation is just that. It's believing I am wealthy. And there's not a set number on, I want to have hundreds of millions in the bank, but I'm wealthy. Wealthy that my grandchildren never are going to have to figure out a way to create money because I've created that. I believe these things about myself, that I'm going to be the generational change in my family and my lineage. I'm starting a legacy. I believe these things about myself. I walk around the world believing that, and it's awesome because people embrace it. And when you get around people who see how strong you believe in yourself, they embrace it. They'll accept you for you. So don't put on the facade of what society wants you and have this false outer image. Work on what it takes. I did a challenge. Write your who am I statements, right? Who am I? I'm a creator. I'm a entrepreneur. I'm the best dad in the world. Once you write those statements, reverse engineer, critically think about who do you have to be in order for that statement to be true about you? What actions do you need to be doing every day to make that statement true about you? And if you work that process and you are working those steps, that you're going to lead to being a millionaire or a better father or a successful business person. That's how you create it. Believing it inside yourself, working the process, believing your I am statements, working them from the inside out, not the outside, not trying to fit the image and then build up and really have that, which unfortunately society does. Do it the opposite way. Start on the inside. Believe it inside. Know it to be true about yourself. Then society will accept it and you'll have everything, literally.
100%. Yeah. I was just thinking when you were talking, like the whole point of my whole story and really what it all comes down to is it's just believing in you. And so if I believe I can do something, I'm going to fucking do it. If I don't believe I'm going to do something, I'm not going to fucking do it. So, when I sold that house that I sold to buy this house, I did not believe that I could afford 2 houses at the same time. Fact was I could have done it, and I would be in a better financial position net worth wise today had I done that. Had I maybe sacrificed a couple things, sold my razor, or whatever I had to do to make that happen and be a little bit uncomfortable for a little bit, maybe a year of my life, I could have got to this point where I was farther ahead than I am now. Now, I'm not going to chalk that up as a failure again because I learned from that and I move forward. And I feel like, I'll fuck up all the time, but I'll never fail because if I take the lesson from it and I move forward and I change it moving forward, then it's not a failure in my book. I don't believe in failure. Just like today, I did not take that set. I almost did. I almost pulled out and said, no, fuck it. I'm going to go the safe route, but I didn't. I believe in myself. I know what I'm capable of. That's the word. I know what I'm capable of and what I can do, and I'm going to make it happen. So we'll see in the next few months here if I close on this thing, if I lost 30 grand. But either way, every time this situation comes up, I want to take the fucking risk and take the chance because that's how we get ahead in life. That's how millionaires are made. That's how,
only way.
They say, you're not getting – there's a difference between bad debt and good debt, right? Bad debt is like your fucking four-wheeler that you didn't need to buy or your new car that you didn't need to buy, that you can't afford or, I don't know, a razor or whatever, something for fun that does not make you money. Bad debt does not make you money. It's shit that we don't really need that doesn't make us money. I have some of that shit too. Well, actually, I don't get loans on that shit, so it's really not debt. But I have toys too. I saw this meme yesterday that said, I use my money to make money. You use your money to look like you make money. We're not the same.
Fact.
And so that's kind of my whole point here is if there's nothing wrong with good debt. And so if you can have debt, especially right now when interest rates are fucking 2% and as low as they are, if you can have debt that's going to actually make you money and make you more wealth down the road, there's nothing wrong with that. And if you're able to push on the gas and move forward and not be as reserved without having debt, even better, man. That's great. But the whole point is that right now in this economy, you have to believe in yourself. When everybody else is uncertain, everybody else is scared, everybody else is not being the best version of themselves, even everybody else, even men are just weak as fuck right now. I feel like men in general are just weak as shit. There's all this fucking different gender shit coming out and all this different stuff. And, I just feel like guys in general right now are not leaders. Guys in general are soft. And it's kind of how the society's going right now. Like we're in this phase of like, oh, you're toxic masculinity. No, motherfucker, it's not toxic masculinity. It's just fucking masculinity. I know what I want. I'm a man. I know what I want. I know what I want to give, what I want to have in my life. And I'm going to push towards that. I'm going to lead towards that. That's what I am. I'm a fucking leader, right? It doesn't make me toxic. Just because I want this, and this, and I'm not going to accept less than this, and this, or if you're in my life, I'm going to push us towards this destination of where I want us to go. That doesn't make it fucking toxic. That's masculinity. That's good. We need more of that. If we have more of that in this life right now, in this fucking world right now, I don't think we'd be in the place that we're in right now. But in general, when everybody else is using excuses to get soft, when everybody else is sitting on the couch, when everybody else is gaining weight from COVID, when everybody else is fucking wearing masks everywhere, when everybody else is doing what they're told to do, not what they believe in, when everybody else is fucking, sitting there eating chips, this is the time to be as hard as you can fucking be. This is the time to go all in on you. This is the time to be the baddest fucking self that you can be, the baddest motherfucker that you can be. This is the time to hit the fucking gym. This is the time to get the muscles. This is the time to lose the weight. This is the time to be lean. This is the time to work hard. This is the time to take the fucking risk because nobody else is doing it. So when everybody's fucking doing this shit, your odds of winning are way less because everybody's doing it. You got to compete with everybody. When only half the people are doing it or a quarter of the people are doing it, your odds of succeeding and winning are way higher because you're only competing against 25% or 50% of the population. Let's say 25%, and normally it's 50, right? You're only competing against 25% of the population right now opposed to 50, right? If your competition's pushing on the brakes and they're not taking the fucking leap and they're not pushing forward to grow and you're their competition, you're deciding, fuck that right now. We know times are uncertain, but we're going to go all in either way and we're going to grow. You're going to fucking blow past them. You're going to grow. If they stop their fucking advertising budget because right now they don't know what's going on, they're going to coast, and you say, fuck that, we're doubling down, we're going to increase our advertising budget, or we're going to launch that new product line, or whatever the fuck it is, you're going to fucking win, right? And last thing I want to say is that right now in this time that we're in too, with this fucking masculinity, toxic masculinity, all this shit, all these different sides, you've got the Republicans versus the Democrats, conservatives versus liberals. Everybody's teamed up against everybody. There's a lot of fucking shit going on, which is not in this podcast, it'd be another podcast that I don't fucking believe in. A lot of our freedoms getting infringed on, a lot of bullshit, people getting fired because they won't get a fucking vaccine, which is illegal as fuck. And I can't even believe that we're in these times in this world. Like, it's just the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard of in my entire life. Like, we're closer to communism in the United States than we ever have been. But either way, when we're in these times where everybody's so divided, this is and it really doesn't even have to do with divided. When we're in these times where everybody's scared to say what they want to say because the media is making us divided. That's what it is. The media is pairing us against each other. We're really not that divided. We really are on a lot more common ground than people think, but the media is pushing us against each other to divide and conquer and make it look like we're so divided. And so nobody wants to stand up for what they believe in. Nobody wants to stand up or speak their truth or speak their mind or live their life how they want to live it. They want to conform. They want to go, oh, well, we're still during COVID, so I don't really believe in this, but I'm going to do it either way just because I want to be a good person, right? There's nothing wrong. You're not a bad person if you decide not to wear a mask. I'm sorry to tell you, but it's the fact. And so what you'll find business-wise is right now, like I said, everybody's scared to speak their truth. Everybody's scared to say what they want to say. And they think, man, if I come out, I really don't believe in this, but if I come out and say that, I'm going to lose all my customers. I'm going to lose all my business. And that's false. That's not true. Right now, what people are loving are the people that are coming out and standing up for what they believe in, right? And what you'll find is you come out and stand for this over here, you might lose a few customers from over here, but the customers that you're going to gain that believe in what you believe in over here that you're standing up for are far greater than the ones that you're going to lose. You're going to be coming ahead. It's part of building your brand. So, I don't know. We kind of went over a lot of shit. Do you have anything else you want to add?
I just want to add, I mean, we're dads who lift, right? Dads. And you were touching on it. You got a job to do. You got a responsibility and obligation to raise a young man or woman and change the generation that we have right now that is destroying our country, just completely destroying our country. We need to get back to, I'm not saying conservative lifestyles. I think everyone should have their freedom to choose what makes them happy and go and pursue that.
We should get back to freedom.
Freedom. But I shouldn't have to entertain what makes you happy. I'm free to do what I want to make me happy.
That's part of freedom.
And you can do what you want to do. It makes you happy. But I'm not going to entertain your freedom if I don't have I don't have to. I'm not going to entertain it. Just don't. I'm not bothering you. You're not bothering me. But as a dad, you have an obligation, and we have lots of children that need to be raised with structure, with support, with love, and we need to have some sort of change. Some sort of change. Being a dad, being a parent.
I agree, man.
Stepping in, being involved. There's a lot of parents that aren't involved. probably why the generation we have now is the way that they are, entitled. I mean,
yeah, I agree, man. So all in with this, life is 100% what you make it. I think about this shit every day. I live this shit every day. I hate people that fucking make excuses. I hate fucking victims. I've said it in multiple podcasts. But life is 100% what you make it. And everything, all of success and what your life turns out to be really comes down to what you believe you can achieve and what you believe that you can't achieve. And one other thing that I'll say that we haven't really touched on today is surrounding yourself with people that have the things that you don't have, or getting coaches or following people that live the lifestyle that you want to have helps you believe that you can have that. Helps you get into 100%. That realm of I'm good enough for this too. And that's the way that I see shit, man. When I look at somebody and I say I look at myself and I say, how am I ever going to get $100 million, which is my goal? I want $100 million. I don't really care if that's in my bank account, my net worth. I don't know, but $100 million is in my head. That's going to be my number. And so how do I get $100 million? Like, I'm not good enough to get $100 million. What the fuck do I have to offer? What kind of value do I have to give to ever get $100 million in my bank account, or have a net worth of $100 million and fly private jets and all this shit that I want to do? For me, I've never done it. So it's hard for me to grasp how is that possible? How can I make that happen? But if I look at, say, Andy Versella or Ed Milet, or guys that have hit that milestone and overcome that milestone and surpass that milestone, and I can look at them and say, or if I can even hire them as a coach and fucking personally ask them, but if I can look at them and say, how did they do that, right? And then I can see how they did that and use that as my framework to get there. Because if anybody has done something, if anybody has ever done anything in this world, then it's possible for you to do it too. If they can do it, you can do it. That's it, plain and simple. And where that really comes from and starts from is believing in yourself. So if I can take that and look at, say, Andy Versella and say, well, he got here, I can fucking get there. Once I believe that I can get there, then I can say, okay, now I know I can get there. Now I believe that I can get there. Now I'm going to manifest this as it's my own, and I have this shit. It's meant for me no matter what, even though I don't physically have it yet. It's coming. What I like to say is it's not here yet, but it's on the way, you know? And if I can see that shit as if it's coming, then it's easier to get there. Then I can say, what steps do I take to actually do it? Right. So I believe I can have it. Now, how do I get there, and how do I work towards this, right? So whatever you believe in your life is what you're going to have. If you have a limited mindset in anything, you're going to have a limited life. You're going to have limited results. And this is not going out and saying, like, you know, live past your means and, you know, go spend $1 million that you don't have, or go rack up every credit card bill that you can get approved for. That's not what I'm saying. You still have to be smart. You can't be a fucking dumbass, you know? But within your means, what can I actually do? Where are my limits really at? And this is where it comes down to, like, even if you look at people with physical limitations, right? You know, a guy might sit there and say, I can't run 10 miles. There's no fucking way I'd be able to run 10 miles. Or I can't 5 miles. I can't run 5 miles. There's no way. I would die. If I tried to run 10 miles right now, I would die. And then I look at David Goggins, and he ran 100 miles in a day. Yeah, I don't know if he really did. I think he did.
I think
something like
that.
It's. But either way, I look at that and I say, okay, so what is the human body's true capabilities? So David Goggins' body is capable of running $100 miles in a day. Maybe mine is not physically conditioned the same as his right now, so maybe I'm not capable there. But maybe instead of 10, maybe I can actually, like, if it came down to life or death, maybe I could actually run 20.
Life or death.
Who the fuck knows, right? But that's where it comes down to say, what are my capabilities? And this whole thing of living comfortable is fucking bullshit. We don't want to live comfortable, man. Like, find the comfortability in being uncomfortable. Be comfortable being uncomfortable, if that makes sense.
The only comfortability I want is freedom, true freedom.
Yeah.
That level of comfortability where my time is mine to decide what
But I don't even ever want to quit working. Like, I go on vacation, and it's great to get on vacation, but you give me like 4 or 5 days, and I want to get back to doing some kind of work. You know, I need some kind of progress in my life, you know? I go to Mexico and sit on the beach for 7 days. I think that's the longest I went, and I'm ready to get the fuck home. Right. I want to get back to work, you know? There's got to be growth. And when I'm comfortable, I'm not growing. And so I'm not saying I want to kill myself in a 9 to 5 for the rest of my life, But if I can find something that I love doing, which is what I'm doing, and feel my passion, I would rather be growing the rest of my life than actually sitting back, being comfortable and sitting on my ass, if that's what you would even call comfortable. The whole point of it is if you're comfortable, you're not growing. If you're uncomfortable, you're growing. So go for the growth, believe in yourself. Whatever you believe you can do is what you'll do. And I'll leave with that. Thanks for tuning into the Dad2lift podcast, guys. Like I said, leave us a 5-star review. If you got any value out of this, if you liked anything, if we made you laugh, made you think different, please give us a 5-star review. Tell a friend, they tell a friend. That's how we grow this thing. We are on Dad2lift Official, www.dad2liftofficial.com. We have hats, apparel, T-shirts, tanks, all kinds of shit. All the podcast formats are on there too. We're on IG as Dad2lift Apparel. We are on Facebook as Dad2lift Podcast. And then we have a Facebook group obviously on Facebook. That's 53,000, I believe I said, like-minded dads trying to be their best selves and grow. So if that's something that interests you, check that group out too. But hopefully we added some value to you guys. Take this to heart. Whatever you believe your life can be is what it's going to be. Whatever you can't believe your life can be if you can't believe it, can't see it, you're not going to have it. If you can believe it, you can see it, you're going to have it. Take care, guys.
They told me that like when I get cocky, ain't it funny how they think they can stop me? Try to be me, but I'm so sorry you not me. Try to be me.